So I may try to put together a playlist, like an ultra running playlist, and I thought I would just briefly talk about my credentials since I'm going to be sharing my experiences and advice with YouTube. Um, I've completed 7 100-mile races and a few 50Ks, a 6 hour run. But the 700-mile races is really where I think I have a little bit of experience and authority to talk on ultra running, where I've proven myself, I guess you could say. So, a little less than a year ago is when I did my first 100-mile race. So, in the past year, I've done the 700 milers, which is quite frequent. Most people might do one or two a year that do 100 miles. Most runners may never run the 100-mile distance. But my first one was Skydive Ultra in Central Florida. My next one, several months later, was the Keys 100, from Key Largo to Key West. It's a brutal, hot run, and I managed to take 7 hours off my finish time. The first one was 26 and a half hours, and I made a lot of mistakes in that one, which I can share in more detail another time. But the Keys 100 took 7 hours and 15 minutes off my finish time from the first one, and managed first overall male finisher. And so several months after that, I did Burning River, which is my first trail 100-miler. And Burning River was a great experience. I really learned how I love running in the woods and running with hills and trails, and a variety of different terrain in the 100-mile distance. And I managed to finish pretty well. I think there's, we can double check it, but there might have been 250 runners in that race, and I finished 20th, somewhere around there. Even with a mishap, in the night, my headlamp went out, and that cost me quite a bit of time mentally to refocus and readjust myself and get back out there. Cold muscles. It wasn't easy. So then after Burning River, I realized how much I love trails, so I went out and did Mark Twain in Missouri. And that was a very challenging run. That was my slowest time yet, 28 and a half hours. And there's been 30 stream crossings. It was, I can go into more detail on that if people would like, but that was a tough one. And then after that, only at this point between Burning River, Mark Twain, Javelina, it's only spacing them about 5 weeks apart. So then I did Javelina 100 in Arizona, and that was a great experience. The world record holder, Zach Bitter, was there, and that was really cool to see him run. I didn't push myself too much competitively in that race. I could have ran a lot faster, but I really played it conservative. The temperature reached 102 degrees midday, and I saw a lot of agony and a lot of bonking. It's a marathon running term, but a lot of runners in the medical tents. And so I really try to play it smart and conservative and make the finish, because just completing a 100-mile race is considered a worthwhile achievement. So that was number 5. And then number 6, I only did 5 weeks later from Javelina, was Daytona. I'm wearing the shirt. Daytona, I ran from Jacksonville to Daytona Beach, and it was fast course. I ran sub 20 hours, 19 hours and 26 minutes. And it was beautiful on the beach and the lighthouse near the finish. It took its toll on me because it's very hard pavement. It's like the white cement. But only 4 weeks after that, I turned around and did another 100-miler, Croom Zoom. And that was actually only 2 weeks ago. So we're almost at a year from my first one. The Croom Zoom was a trail run. I ran it in 20 hours and 56 minutes in 3rd place overall. And it was very cold conditions. It got down to 30 degrees. I got frostbite on my toes. had to deal with sweating through my clothing and then getting very cold, hypothermic, and have to change my clothing. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is that I feel like I have some experience and maybe advice that I can share with people in ultra running. And so I thought I would just give a list of my credentials in the last year. And to end this video, I'd like to say that a week from now, I'm planning on doing my first 150-mile run. So a week from now would be the reunion, the 1-year reunion of my first 100-miler. And so I'm going to attempt the 150-mile distance. So maybe I can share that experience with you guys. Thank you.